It's all about really understanding your customers and meeting their needs. That core fundamental fact has driven Kishore Devshi's business from where it started in 2018, which wasn't very big, to being a super number one status in the UK right now. Welcome to the session. Kishore, how are you?
And thank you, thank you. I'm glad to be on here.
Glad
Um,
to have you here as well. And lucky enough to talk to you for a while before this video podcast started. And I've got a lot of good notes to expand on. You got some really good learnings for us to feed on as well. But let's start off with understanding a bit about, your business and how you got to where you were. Or rather, let's start off with understanding a bit about your business and the key services you provide, Kishore.
yeah, so we're a trademark company. The services we usually provide are brand protection, intellectual property. We do copyrights, designs, and anything really to do with trademarks and protecting people's brands.
Brilliant. Sounds really precise and serves a good niche.
Yeah, it's we just help businesses basically protect their intellectual property. We also, provide businesses with good strategy going forward. So yeah, it's a very important thing if you have a new business.
It's a hugely important thing because when people come back to review their business, and if they don't have like an IP in place, we know the kind of dangerous things that can happen afterwards. However, one of the key things I want to zone into right now
Mhm.
is something which a lot of the listeners will be really keen to understand: the level and magnitude of investment you received from Lord Sugar. I mean, it's probably most business owners' dream out there to be plodding away, working along, and have Lord Sugar turn up at the doorstep asking to be a part of it. I mean, you've been lucky enough to have that kind of attention and that support. So would it be a good idea for you to share, what caught Lord Sugar's interest in your business, and how is it working with him right now?
Yeah, it's a bit of a story really. So what happened was when we initially started in June 18. We set up shop in Fitzrovia. We hustled and we sort of worked really hard in our business. And the first year was the toughest year. We grew in the number of trademark filings. So that's what caught Lord Sugar's attention. When we started filing more trademarks than any of these bigger firms, we started beating these big firms. Um, that was kind of the moment when Lord Sugar sort of made some indication he was interested. Um, so it started from there, and at first he took a look at us and he said, you get your fundamentals right and stuff like that, and he told us to go away, and it. So we went away. We sort of dealt with all of the issues that he raised. We went back, and he was then finally ready to make an investment with us.
And that's an amazing learning for the people that he came, he saw that you got really good output from the business, that the level of efficiency was really high. But he saw that there were some core fundamentals he wanted you to work on in
Yeah.
order to make it investment worthy. It would be so
Yeah.
valuable for the listeners to understand and maybe get a glimpse of what kind of things did he ask you to polish up before he gave you the attention and investment.
A lot of the stuff that he mentioned was, that he wanted to see more. Um, he wanted us to fix up with our so mostly all of it was all relatively finance related. Most of the items he wanted us to get a grip on was all of our debtors, our creditors, to make sure that all those things were all done correctly. Also the processes. So the way we work with our business, like improving on our processes, he focused heavily on that. He found that really to be really very important. That should have a really good process in place. Uh,
Fantastic.
and that was vital for him.
And how has so working on having clear lists and clear approaches to deal with your debtors, your creditors, and having loads of streamlined processes in place,
Yeah.
presumed to help make your business leverageable and scalable, I suppose.
Yeah. So having those things in place, were indicators for him. So, these are vital things for any business, really.
Mm.
You got to focus on your numbers. You've got to focus on your process, and you've got to focus on where you want to take your business, your vision. The key things that he made us look at before he actually decided to invest in us.
Amazing. That's a great share. So you've been working in business for 5 years now. Is that correct?
Yeah,
awesome.
That's right.
So what would you say differentiates your business, Trademark Wizards, from other companies that do something similar? So if there are listeners out there listening to this video clip and they're looking to get an IP done for their business, what would drive them towards your business as compared to another one?
So I think for our business, I think what we tend to do that is different from others would be, I think we provide good value. Essentially, what we try to do is we listen to people's problems and issues and provide them with a solution and options. There's no obligation, obviously, and I think that's where we differ. But we're not really a traditional law firm. I mean, most of these traditional law firms, it's quite a scary thing to do, to talk to lawyers, and we try to be more human about our approach, and helping businesses that come to us are usually, it varies. So we have businesses that come to us where they're in their beginning stages of their business, and businesses that come to us where they fully established and they've just come across a problem that they need a solution for. What makes us different is I think it's our engagement with our customers, and the value we provide. Essentially that's what we're doing. We're here to help, and so anyone that's actually needs help in that industry, in trademarking, in the trademark, and they have an issue, they can come and speak to us, and we'll be more than willing to help them.
Fantastic. So it's all about the value, listening really hard, really intently, providing the right value, is what's making your business like a magnet for other people who need your service.
I think it's about the service, level of service, and and essentially providing the assurance that we would be able to fix their problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing, really, is to get that message across to them, is that we would help to fix their problem.
Help to fix their problem. Amazing. Next thing I want to focus on is, you mentioned earlier on, before we started recording, that the first year was pretty difficult. A lot of hard work. And most entrepreneurs go through that. The first year or two in business is the most difficult. And if they can make it past that, things start to fall into place. However, one key concept at the moment that's grabbing headlines and becomes so much into the limelight is mental health and really looking after yourself. Because if we get that wrong, we know the kind of catastrophes that can follow. So in the first couple of years, when you were working really hard, almost sleeping in the office, like you said, how did you go about really looking after yourself and keeping yourself well conditioned from day to day? And the reason why I ask this question is because there are plenty of entrepreneurs out there who are working really hard, and the mental freshness is also just as important. I would love to hear some of the techniques that you guys have used to really come out the other end, not just home and dry, but stronger.
I think that's a good question. Mental, that is a big struggle for a lot of people, right? What I genuinely did was I kept my evenings free. I tried to hit the gym a lot, and during that period, I think I probably visited the gym more often than I should. It was a good thing to do because I was able to work through my problems while I was at the gym, and that helped me massively. I was able to escape, go to the gym, and think about the day that happened and get ready for the next day tomorrow.
Brilliant. And you're not the first person to mention that. It just helps reinforce for the listener how going to the gym, exercise is exactly important, because like you said or alluded to, it creates that moment for reflection on
thinking at the same time.
And thinking at the same time and reflecting on how the day went, what are the problems, and what's the way forward. Amazing.
Yeah.
But also in the last 5 years, I'm pretty sure you faced some steep challenges in your business. How would you summarize, aside from COVID and the obvious things which happen in the economy, how would you summarize the top 3 challenges you faced in business, and maybe how did you overcome those as well?
So the top 3 challenges in business, I think, it's a very tough question to answer actually, but you're experiencing challenges with everything really. Challenges with managing people, there's challenges with managing client expectations, and also challenges. I mean, the biggest challenge that everyone faces is making money, I guess. You have that in the back of your mind, and you need to make money.
So let's hone into one of those. Out of those 3 you've mentioned, managing people, managing client expectations, and making money. Which one do you think you can share your experience on over there?
I guess I would say managing people.
Yeah.
I guess. We are quite a young company, and we hire quite young people, graduates, and things like that. So I guess the challenge that we were struggling with is that when they do join our company, the learning curve, the amount of trademarks is a complicated. It's a quite complicated business, and there's that practical element to it where you need to. It's also academic and it's practical. So there's that transition when new people come to our business that they need to understand how to talk to people in the real world. What they've learned, and to apply those to apply the knowledge that they've learned to the real world. The challenge that I faced really was it's difficult to really get these people to the best of their capabilities at a very young age, and that's quite a hard job to do.
I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, they've come from university, they learn plenty of things, but then applying it to the real life scenario is always difficult, and helping them in that phase get to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, it's also rewarding to see them grow. It's good to see them as they mature and become excellent trademark attorneys.
Fantastic. Looking forward into the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm pretty sure you don't have a crystal ball there in your office either. However, if you did have a crystal ball, what would you say would be the #1 challenge that maybe a business of your nature could be facing in the next, say, 3 years?
Well, I think this, with the way the economy is now and the struggle that many businesses have, it's growth. I think achieving growth is very tough nowadays, and I think in the next 3 years that are coming, the challenge that many people will face, including ourselves, would be how do we keep growing? And there's so many factors and so many variables involved now that it's very difficult to maintain that.
Really kind of sailing the ship in this turbulent kind of microeconomic condition.
Yeah, there's so many factors.
What about your business? What would you say is next in your business? Any kind of major evolutions, innovations coming up, or changes in the way you're working?
I think in our business, yes. So I think what we're sort of our service is evolving. Our services are becoming better. More value is added. We are always looking in ways to provide a better service, a better outcome for our clients. So we are growing in that sense. And we're always looking for solutions and always looking for better ways to improve outcomes for clients.
So it's bettering yourself. Final question. So you've been in business now for 5 years, and like you mentioned, as yourself and as your business partner Oliver as well. and you've gone through a huge piece of growth over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So if you were to look back to the day when you started your business, what would be that one piece of advice you'd give yourself to help smoothen your business journey?
That's a good question. I think I would have said to I guess the best piece of advice I would have given myself was to is to relax. You know, the concern that I had while I was running the business was so big, you know, and the best piece was to, you know, you're going to make it through, you know, to have that thought pattern of knowing that it's all going to be okay, it's all going to be worth it at the end. And to have that would have been the best thing, because I think that would have helped me greatly, you know, just knowing that I should have relaxed more. And looking back on on the time that I was working, I think that's what I didn't do. Because I don't know.
Well, hopefully now that the business is in a much stable and forward-looking position, there is plenty of hours in the day for you to relax now. Kishore, it's been absolutely amazing having you on this session today. Plenty of great learnings you've shared with the business community. And with that, I'd like to wish you a lovely weekend. And once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.